Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. There are different types of students. One category is they understand exactly what is meant by the teacher when the teacher teaches. They are called as Uttama Adhikari, the best among the students. There are second type of people who understand according to their convenience. There is a third category who understand halfway. There is a fourth category, those who don't understand. And the most wonderful is those who understand exactly what is never meant anything. Now why this happens? Because Jnanam, we have not prepared ourselves to receive the knowledge. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyo pasanam shaucham sthairyam atma vinigraha. We have never done our homework. Like this word is very common among the corporate people, the corporeals. You have to do your homework before you go for the meeting. What is the homework? Have you taken your tiffin? That is all. So, unless we have done our homework, the understanding will not be there. If you don't understand, it's okay. But when you misunderstand, then it's a terrible thing. And see what happens. A person who is a prepared, qualified student, his interaction to the knowledge is different. And a person who is not a prepared student, his interaction is only argument and logic. See? Why this argument and logic comes? Only because we have not understood what is the purpose for what a particular statement is made. Whenever you try to understand a statement without reference to context, only misunderstanding will take place. And therefore, here we are now being told the two principles, Purusha and the Prakriti, the consciousness and matter. Now what is the purpose? Is it to add knowledge to your hard disk so that you can burn a CD and give to others and you are untouched by the knowledge? Or this knowledge has to be applied? And this portion is now taken up. First, the principle is told. There are two aspects, consciousness and matter. All the modifications, changes, activities, everything is going on in matter. In pure consciousness, there is none of this. Consciousness, being of the nature of knowledge, is merely the illuminator of the changes. But when this consciousness gets identified with what is being illumined, a spurious, fictitious individuality is born, and as a result, a miserable or a happy entity is created. Isn't it, when we go to see a drama or a cinema, and in that drama that actor and actress, they are crying. They are paid for that, isn't it? So they are crying very pathetically. I did not expect you will deceive me like this on the stage. And when the actor is crying and all that, and we, the audience, we also take out, like the Shivaji Maharaj taking out his sword, we take out from the purse a tissue paper. And then, you know, the modern people who are over progress, they don't use cloth and they don't cry with the eyes. They use tissue paper and cry with the nose. Latest technique. I don't know what is this. I tried. I didn't. Then I knew that I belong to the old category. And the audience is crying away by seeing what is happening on the stage. That time, what is going on in the mind of that actor? He says, "You fools, I am paid for crying. You are paying and crying." See the difference, isn't this? Why this happens? Because we get identified with that particular character so much, as if the misery that is happening to the character on the stage, it is happening to us. No. See? This expertise of getting identified with any Tom, Dick and Harry is the cause of our all miseries in life. So, Purushaha sukha dukkhanam bhoktrutve heturuchyate. So, this consciousness, Purushaha prakritistohi bhunkte prakritijan gunan karanam gunasangosya asad yonishu janma yonishu. So, when this Purusha, the consciousness, gets identified with all these matters and the changes, he is thereafter transmigrating from one field of experience to another field of experience. And thus there is a constant upsurge of joy and the valleys of miseries, and we are constantly being tossed in the turmoil of life. And then, I am tired of life. The world is too much for me. And then, we being generous, we distribute our misery to everybody. See? There was one person, lady came, and her mother is very serious in the hospital. She is also 80 or something like that. Now, for the seriousness of her mother, is her husband responsible? Now look at, and she is making the life of that husband so miserable. He came along with her, started crying, and Swamiji, I am ready to do anything, whatever she tells me. I said, you will do anything you have done so far, and unless you cry, she will not feel comfortable. I said, if you want to deal with life, don't get influenced by the wife. Then only you can lead your life comfortably. Otherwise, she will make your life miserable. It is a common noun. Therefore, because of this, we are constantly tossing. Now, after having told this, now the teacher says, look here. Upadrashta anumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatme pichapyuktaha dehesmin purushaparaha. In this very body, what is abiding is the absolute reality. And this absolute reality is upadrashta. Be very attentive. You must have experienced this thing. Sometime when you hear something and suddenly you get this kind of feeling in your ear. When suddenly you hear something. Suppose big bang comes, like that happens. So that time you are not prepared to receive the strong sound, you receive and you get a big bang. And sometimes you come for the satsang and nothing touches. And when others are laughing, What happened? So, that time you were upadrashta, not getting influenced by, not getting disturbed by anything around. Upadrashta. Now, the second stage, Anumanta. It is not a Hanumanta. Anumanta. Anumanta means what? He who is supporting every thought. See, Mati, from that Manta, Anu means behind. Pratibodha viditam matam. So, behind every thought, it is the same conscious reality. And every thought is supported by this reality. Let us go for the satsang. Consciousness will say, no, we'll not go. We'll go. And you come out. What will I do over there? Let's go to Chowpatty. Okay, we'll go to Chowpatty. Why to go to Chowpatty? Why not go to one Pizza Hut? Okay, we'll go. See, any thought that we have is supported by the divinity. And that is why the consciousness is happy. The moment you oppose anybody or anything in this world, the fight begins. So, Upadrashta, Anumanta. Then third, Bharta. Bharta is not made out of Bengal. Bharta means the one who is not only supporting, but who is also giving life to every experience of your life. So when you become the husband, you become the father, you become the son, you become the wife or the mother-in-law or the daughter-in-law, all these personalities are supported by the same conscious reality, Bharta. And in fact, who you are? Maheshwaraha. Now be very attentive. Unless this conscious reality is throbbing through this body, there cannot be any experience of life. Waking, dream or deep sleep, all of them are supported by the same conscious reality, and yet in the waking state, the consciousness does not become a waker. In the dream state, the consciousness does not become the dreamer. In the deep sleep state, consciousness does not sleep. See? And therefore Maheshwaraha. Why? Because the waker can illuminate, experience the experiences of only the waking state, like most of us now. Then there are dreams. The dreamer is able to illuminate the experiences of the dream alone. He has no entry in the waking or the deep sleep. But this consciousness is Maheshwaraha, is the Supreme Lord, supporting all the experiences of all the states of experience, and yet not getting influence. Who is the Ishvara? Ishvara is the one who is not influenced by the conditioning. He is called as the Ishvara. So, Bhokta Maheshwaraha, Paramatmepi Chapyuktaha Dehesmin Purushaparaha. So, in this very body, the Supreme Consciousness, which is the absolute reality, is expressing through various conditionings. According to that, there are different experiences. Now be very attentive. When the misery comes, we get identified with the misery, and a miserable entity is born. And we have a number of miseries and number of miserable entities born. Then what we do? we make a garland out of all those miserable entities through the thread of consciousness and declare to the world, I am most miserable one. Why? During childhood, I have lost my parents. My God. Then, one day, I don't know when, what thought comes in my head. I was in USA, in North Carolina. And there was one old Gujarati gentleman. And he is so simpleton but extremely obsessed. He will not listen to anybody. That type of person. And his children are really great appreciating. I don't know how they can tolerate that old man. So, when he saw me, he must have seen me on TV and all that, and he took me to his house. And then he made me sit in the center. And then, sit Swamiji here. And he talks to me in Gujarati, whether I understand or who cares. He made me sit there. And then he told everybody, his 3-4 sons and their wives and the children and all that, put something and put one mala and take a pradakshina. And they were going round and round around me. And there was another South Indian. So after that was over, he told me, Swamiji, this is not good. Don't allow this man to do like this. Why? In our tradition, only dead bodies are done like that. I said, Gujaratis are sweet people. Don't worry. I will not die. And then that old man took me to his room. And on the floor, he has kept a dozen of small size photographs, passport size photographs, 6, 7, 8 of them. And he will lift everybody, every photograph and explain who is this Mahatma, who is this Mahatma, and take the pradakshina like that. And made me also, you also take pradakshina. And then he told me, Swamiji, this Mahatma I made such and such time, but next time I could not go and meet him, he died. Then this Mahatma I made, and I said, then he died. I said, is it my number now? So, Swamiji, why this happens to me? I see a Mahatma and Mahatmas die. I said, you must be a virulent devotee. So, we create, or be very attentive, we create a personality out of different experiences that we had in our whole life. Clear? Now, don't we have many dreams? Do we create a personality out of our dream experiences? No. Now, what is the logic? That we have dreamed 100,000 dreams. And all those dream personalities are not put together into a continuity. And a dream ego is not created. But in the waking experience, we go on collecting different experiences right from childhood. And then we write autobiography of a bhogi. Bhogi means the one who is involved in the bhog, not yogi. See how it is. In fact, there is no autobiography. The moment you come to realize this, that let us not create an individuality. And that is why the most potent spiritual practices remain exclusively in the present. When you remain all the time in the present, your past is deleted. Your future is not created. You are in the absolute present. In the absolute present, the presence starts manifesting. This is the way. But we were told, take the mala in the hand and start Ram, 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 Ram. What for? That is a vaccination given by the Mahatmas to the devotees to protect them from the devotees and nothing else. Otherwise, we go and eat their heads. You know, one wife was driving. I was sitting with the husband. He was driving. And she was driving him. And in this together we are growing. So, when she was constantly, driving him, I said, Mama, why do you eat his head? When I said like that, her sister was sitting there. Immediately she said, Swami, that's why she is starving. Immediately. Where does he have head? That she is eating his head. I said, had he had head, he would have never married her. Isn't it? So, let us not create any personality. Remain in the present. And friends, there is no choice. There is no option. Whether we can live in the past, whether we can live in the present, or we can live in the future, there is no choice. We have to live only in the present. Then what we do? We pull the past in the present and destroy the present. Or we create imagination about the future and refuse to live in the present. In short, we are against the divine law. And that is why we get lost into the in-laws in life. Let us be very clear. This Purushaparaha, the Supreme Consciousness, He is present equally everywhere in every one of us. It is only by the habit, by the practice, that we get identified and the whole cinema starts. Isn't it? Therefore, this is the purpose of telling this. So, ya evam vetti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha sarvatha vartamanopi nasabhujo bhijayate. So, this Paramatma, Purusha, the consciousness, and the Prakriti and their relationship, and after the consciousness, the Purusha get identified with the Prakriti, the matter and its modification, and thereby creating a fictitious temporary personality. You know, those who are operating computers, they know when you are working, some temporary files are created. And those temporary files unnecessarily block your hard disk. So you have to delete them now and then. In the same manner, when we are functioning in this world, yes, there will be temporary files created. But don't keep, then just delete. See? So, ya evam vetti, in this way, he who knows the Purusha, Prakritim cha, Gunai sa. So, these are the few factors to be clearly recognized. The Ashtadha Prakriti, Mahabhutanyahankaro Buddhiravyaktamevacha, and thereafter the various instruments, the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, the mind, etc., the 16 of them, and then the modification, Ichcha, Dvesha, Sukham, Dukkham, Sangata, Chetana, Dhruti, and through this the consciousness is expressing, and when the consciousness gets identified with them, a fictitious personality is created. Therefore, all the spiritual practice is disidentification. See? He who knows this all. So, Gunai hi saha. Then, Sarvatha Vartamanopi. Thereafter, there are no do's and don'ts applicable to him. See? If you are sitting in a car and the car has gone the wrong way, the police will come and catch whom? The car or you or the driver? The driver. In the same manner, When we do not take the position of identification with all these, thereafter there is no fictitious personality created, and therefore there are no do's and don'ts applied. The result will be, we are not arrogant because of the success, and we are not guilty because of the failure. Friends, please remember, whatever we are functioning in this world, if any interaction creates an impression on the mind, we are sinners. And if we are interacting in this world and no impression is ever created, we are one with the Lord. It is as simple as this. Is it not true? When I look at something unholy, will the eyes get the sin? Or when I look at something holy, will the eyes get the merit? No. When I hear something ugly, something dirty, will my ears get the sin? No. Think. Because the ears, the eyes, they do not create any personality, because they are merely the illuminators. In the same manner, the consciousness, the reality that we are merely the illuminators of all the experiences. And when we have recognized this position of our being, Sarvatha Vartamanopi, in the 18th chapter of Gita, Bhagavan will tell us, Yasya nahang kruto bhavaha buddhir yasya na lipyate hatvapi sa iman lokan na hanti na nibadhyate. He who doesn't have the sense of doership, and he who does not allow any impressions to be gathered on the mind as the result of perception or interaction, such a person even happens to kill the whole universe, he is not afflicted by the sin of killing. See? What is the reason? The reason is the I, the ego, the individuality is not born. See, Maharaj, it is so important to recognize. So, ya evam vetti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha sarvatha vartamanopi nasa bhuyo bhijayate. For such a person, because there is no individuality created, there is no question of again being born or not born. He has gone beyond all the limitations of existence, birth and death. Now, after having told this, now the teacher takes up. Okay, we have understood. Now we want to know, how can we attain this? Now this is the question. Now this is said in the 24th verse. There the teacher says, Dhyanenatmani pashyanti kechidatmanam atmana अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन कर्म योगेन चापरे अन्ये त्वेवम जानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते तेपि चाति तरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः. There are grades of spiritual practice depending on the grade of the quality of the seeker. Please understand this. There is no reservation quota on the path of spiritual realization. Second thing, when I tell, these are my 3 children. This one, he is doing doctorate in physics. The second one is in 12th standard. And the third one is in class 3. When I introduce my 3 children in this manner, does it ever mean that I am insulting the small child? When I say My eldest son is doing his doctorate. Does it mean I am appreciating and glorifying him? No. I am telling the statement of fact. If this is understood, in the same manner, there are people who are able to be extremely contemplative. For them, there is a different spiritual practice. There are people who are not contemplative, but for them, the logic, argument, reasoning, that is the most important thing. Everything they want to deduct. If this is so, that is so. Then why it is now, why it is that? Second type of students. Those who are the slaves of their own reason. The third type of people. They are neither contemplative nor intellectual. But they are rustic. They want to do something or the other. See? You know, once this happened in Sangli or somewhere I went, long time back. And I don't know, somewhere. And that person told me, Swami, do you remember me? He phoned me. I said, no, I don't remember you. Don't remember me? I said, no, I have even forgotten God. What of you? So anyway, I met you such and such, a very good. Then he said, I want to organize your lectures. I said, okay, you write me. I'll see when I can fit in and then send you a reply. No, no, Swamiji, don't worry. I can organize anything. This Mahatma, that Mahatma, everybody's lectures I have organized. Organizing lecture is not a big job for me. That is my hobby, that is my profession. Imagine. Such people, they organize, but they themselves will never come and sit even once. You know, like the managers of a temple. Managers of the temple never go to the temple to salute the God, but they go to the temple to manage the God and tell, "Jara theek se aashirwad dena." See? They are all the time busy in physical involvement. So for them, there is a different type of spiritual practice. And there are the fourth category, who have none of these three. They are Dumbo. So they go and listen, Mahatma, listen now. Let the Gita words fall on my ear, something will happen. And they go and sit down. They are the challenge to the Mahatmas. This is what the teacher says. Dhyanenatmani pashyanti kechid atmanam atmana. One category, the highest category, are those who are able to be extremely contemplative, subjective, and therefore through the technique of meditation, they are able to focus their objective mind into the subjective manner and dissolve the objectivity once for all and come to discover the absolute self that they are. One technique. Second type, Anye Sankhena Yogena Atmanam Atmana Pashyati. The second type of people are the Sankhya Yogi. Now Sankhya Yoga is also a lot of fun. This much we understand here what we have seen in this Purusha Prakriti Viveka. So Sankhya Yogis are those who talk about the different tattvas, that there are many principles, there are 24, some say 26, some say 28, somebody says 31, somebody says 36, somebody says 49, and all they will go on analyzing this way, that way, and all that. Ultimately, they come back to the same reality. So those are the second type of people who are ultimately seeking the same truth. And the third one is Karma Yogena Chapare. And the third type of people are those who are doing everything in this world for the sake of the Lord. They are not struggling in this world only for selfishness. Their only attempt is that let the people be benefited, let others be benefited, and in this manner they are expanding their individuality and merging in the totality. Karma Yogena Chapare And the fourth category, Annetu evam ajanantaha. But the last category are those who are not able to understand any of the three. So, Shrutva nebhya upasate. They listen from others. So, they go to the satsang and listen all sincerely and go back and again come, again listen sincerely and go back. And every time they go back, they don't take anything from the ashram, including the knowledge. They leave it here itself and go back so that next time they are fresh again. This is a great quality. It's not so simple. So, tepi chapi taranteva mrityum shruti parayanaha. Such people also attain the freedom from the relative existence, those who are committed to satsanga. After having told the spiritual practice, now the teacher says, Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna sanyogat tadvidhi bharasharshaba. So whatever is existing in this world, that is possible only when kshetra and the kshetrajna, they come together. Now be very attentive. In absolute reality, there is no problem. In only the matter, there is no problem. See? In only man, there is no problem. In only wife, there is no, only woman, not wife, only woman, there is no problem. But man, the consciousness, wife, the matter, when they come together, everything matters. Is that it? So, yavat sanjayate kinchit, whatever is born, it is as a result of the consciousness and the matter coming together and producing the problems in this world. So, yavat sanjayate kinchit sthavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna sanyogat tadvidhi bharatarashabha. Now see, in only electricity, there is neither light nor magnetic energy, nor there is heat, nor there is amplification. Only in the bulb, only in the mic, only in the fan, none of these are. But when electrical energy comes and joins with these gadgets, all these things are manifested. And what is the manifestation? Manifestation is change, movement. See? So wherever there is movement, we are in the samsara. And that is why unknowingly we all know that I want to sit for meditation. So what is our understanding of meditation? Sit in one place, close the eyes. Nobody told us. It just comes naturally. Because the reality, the conscious principle is free from all modifications, all changes. And reverting back to this changeless substratum is a natural inclination for every one of us. And that is the reason, howsoever busy we may be, we want to go to sleep. Because there alone, the consciousness is discarding the matter. And in that deep sleep, there is no individuality, neither man nor woman, neither husband nor wife, neither rich nor poor, neither Indian nor non-Indian. All the individualities are dissolved, and in deep sleep, there is a homogeneous experience of continuous, unchanging existence. Therefore, all our spiritual practice will be only this, that let the matter be separated from the consciousness and recognize the consciousness uninfluenced by the matter. And the truth is, in reality, the consciousness is not influenced. We only imagine it is influence. See? I always remember one lady who came to meet me. She came and I was enjoying my cup of tea. And she said, Swami, you are alone. What are you doing? I said, I am waiting for my death. Swamiji, don't say like that, don't say like that. I said, no, waiting is over. So now you have come. Don't call me death. I said, do you understand what is the meaning of death? Dvitiya tvai bhayam bhavati. The sense of otherness is the beginning of death. In deep sleep, we are not afraid of death. In the waking, we are afraid of death, is it not? The other day, I was very tired. So I told that person, I said, look here, you drive and let your wife sit front. In the back seat, I will sleep. I am extremely tired. Very long journey. We had to drive for about 5-6 hours. So he said, okay, Swamiji. I was lying down in the back seat, cuddling. Then the wife says, Swamiji, are you not afraid when he is driving, suppose something happens? I said, I am afraid when I am awake. In deep sleep, there is no fear. So, the more we are very much aware about this fact, that consciousness, matter coming together, start creating the problem. So all the spiritual practice is detach yourself from the body identification. Gross world, waking world has no meaning. Detach yourself from the mind, the subtle body, the dream world has no meaning. See? Thereafter, discover your essential self. Only once. See? Repetition and practice is possible only in matter. In consciousness, there is no need for repetition and practice. This has to be done only once. And once it happens, thereafter, again the same body, the same mind, but now there is a total metamorphosis. Now no more living as a body, but now living through the body. No more living as the mind, but living through the mind. That freedom is called as God realization. Therefore, samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyasu avinashyantam yaha pashyati sapashyati. He who is able to see this unchanging reality, supporting all the changes, he who is able to see the undying principle, supporting all the deaths, he alone is seeing. Others are only sleeping. See? Friends, one day one person asked me this question. Now, Swamiji, what is the secret that these Mahatmas, when they are insulted, they are spoken ill of, they don't become angry, they forgive, it's okay, don't worry. How they are able to do this? I said, you are asking about wise people? He said, yes. I said, look here. Suppose I am a person who is a sleepwalker. So I get up at night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and get out of the house and start walking. There are people, sleepwalkers, and go somewhere. And because of that, there is a problem at home. What happened? Where he has gone? Somebody has taken him away and all kinds of things. And then you are found next day. So, will you be punished, or you will be taken care of with more attention? Because he was walking in sleep. Similarly, if you are sleeping and if you start talking, honey, I don't love you. Suppose you say. No, after listening to this, if the wife has a sense, very rare quality, if she has a, she will not take it seriously, because he is talking in sleep. If this is understood, in the same manner, we the so-called people in this waking world, When we go on talking dirty things, nonsense to the Mahatmas, what they know? Never mind, they are all sleeping. Awakened person will never be influenced by the sleeping people's blabbering. This is what is meant here. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. That reality, which is the common denominator in all the beings and the things in this world, he who has seen this reality, he alone has seen. Others are mere blind. They are sleeping. So, samam pashyan hi sarvatra samavasthitamishwaram na hinastim atmanam tato yati param gatim. Be very attentive. The highest sin is non-recognition of your own divinity. All other things are only baby sins. Ekadashi, I have taken rice. What I should do? Did you take sambar also? Okay, then it's okay. That is a baby sin. Don't get carried away by that. The highest sin is this. Our Valmiki Ramayana tells, Anyatha santam atmanam anyatha pratipadyate. Kim tena nakrutam papam chorena atma apahana? Question is asked. We are essentially divine, but start behaving as if we are the devils? What more sin is required to be created? He who has disowned his own divinity. See? Therefore, here the teacher says, Samam pashyan hi sarvatra samavasthitamishwaram na hinasti atmana atmanam. He who does not disown his own divinity, he alone has lived life as required to be lived. Otherwise, all the time, Papam, Papa Karmam, whatever mistakes I have done, oh God, forgive me. Please remember, whenever you have felt disgusted, depressed, angry, some kind of guilt, it is the highest sin. See? Recognize your divinity, recognize your divinity. And friends, it is these two factors that the so-called religious people tie you down into a flock of fools. Which are those two factors? One, the factor of fear. If you do this thing, you will go to hell. They have got only one thing, because they are expert, recently returned. And the second one, they will create guilt in your mind. If you have done something, never mind. Come and confess before me. And then what will happen? I will blackmail you with that confession. Friends, never get carried away by these two things. Anybody gives you a threatening, creating a fear in you. If you go to somebody else's satsang, it is a Guru Droha. And don't go here and there. Hell with such a Guru. We are with the masters to discover the freedom, not to be the slave. The one who enslaves, he is a Mahaguru. He is not the real Guru. Therefore, very simple. Do not disown your own divinity. So, na hinasti atmana atmanam tato yati param gatim. Unless we have discovered our own divinity, we will not be able to discover the divinity permeating in and through the total creation. We look at the world from what we think we are. When I think myself to be man, then for me the world is man and woman. If I think myself to be young, then the world is young and the old. See? If I think myself to be rich, the world is rich and poor. And when I come to discover that I is the absolute reality, the consciousness, there is no alternative to consciousness, as there is an alternative to riches, the poverty, the health, the disease, the man, the woman. This alternative is not present. And this absolute reality has to be discovered as one's essential being. So, prakrutaivacha karmani kriyamanani sarvashaha yaha pashyati tathatmanam akartaram sapashyati. In this manner, he who is now established in this knowledge, what is that knowledge? All the changes, modifications which are happening in this world, they are belonging to the matter, and it does not matter to me what changes are happening. Will the ocean feel the load when more number of waves arise? Will the ocean feel a loss when all the waves are quietened? No. In the same manner, all the modification, whether it is a modification at the level of the body, at the level of the mind, intellect, they all belong to the Prakriti, the matter. That is why many times people have these peculiar questions. That Swamiji, such great Mahatmas, how did he get cancer? Such great Mahatma, how did he become angry? See, we imagine Mahatma means what? His body should not change. And what is a body? Body has nothing to do with the Mahatma. See the basic thing. When Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had the cancer, his devotees were telling, why don't you go and tell the mother that stop this cancer so that you will be happy? He was surprised. I don't know, I am not unhappy because nothing is touching me. So the devotees were seeing him as a body, and his own recognition about himself was the child of the mother. Where is the difference? Only in understanding. Therefore, Jaha Atmanam Akartaram Pashyati Saha Pashyati. He alone has the right vision. Yada Bhuta Pruthak Bhavam Ekastham Anupashyati Tataivacha Vistaram Brahma Sampadhyati Tada. Now again, analysis and synthesis. These are the two techniques. When he is able to see the oneness in the multiplicity in the creation, and when he is able to see that the one reality alone has expanded into many, he alone has recognized the truth. Together it is called as the truth is simultaneously transcendental and immanent. Like the water is transcendental to the ocean and the waves, and the water is immanent in the ocean and the waves. In this, all the duality and the problems of relativity are totally dissolved. This vision alone is the ultimate vision. All other things are different grades. Therefore, don't get carried away by any experience. Otherwise, you will be caught up. Experiences like, you just tell something somebody, and that happens, and then you start imagining, I think power is coming up to the neck, up to the throat, up to the stomach, up to the chest. Now I am becoming realized, dhire dhire ho raha hai. Don't get carried away by all that. That is all in the Prakriti, it's all in the matter. The absolute reality has nothing to do with this. And therefore, here the teacher is again and again emphasizing, see the oneness in the many and understand many are the expansion of the one. So, anaditvad nirgunatvad paramatma ayam avyaha sharirasthopi kaunteya na karoti na lepyate. Now, this absolute reality that we have discovered is not possible to be influenced by anything. Reason? There are two reasons. One is anaditvat, like The fire is not influenced by the heat. See? The fire doesn't say, hey, I am tired, let me have a cold coffee. No. Because it is its essential nature. In the same manner, here, anaditvat, the matter is supported by this conscious reality, and therefore the difference between consciousness and matter is for the third party. For the consciousness, there is nothing like matter. Like for the ocean, there is nothing like waves. Like for the water, there is nothing like ocean and waves. In the same manner, for the absolute, there is nothing like relativity. In the absolute, relativity is imagined. It is not real. Like in the space, the north, the east, the west, the south, these are all imaginations. Indian space, Pakistan space, we will not allow the Pakistani planes to fly over the Indian space. Now imagine, globe is constantly moving. The space above the India is constantly changing. Which is your space? See? All imaginations. It has no meaning whatsoever. Therefore, this avyayaha, unchanging, unmodifying reality, sharirasthaha api, although supporting the body. Please remember, the reality is not inside the body. Reality is supporting the body. Like when we say gold is supporting the ornaments. When we say the ocean is supporting the waves. In the same manner, this absolute reality supporting the total relativity, even the body. Therefore, na karoti na lipyate. He who has discovered and understood this truth, he is never the doer, and therefore never caught up in the wheel of birth and death. So, to make this point clear, he gives two examples. Yatha sarvagatam saukshmyat akasham nopalipyate sarvatravasthito dehe tathatma nopalipyate. Just like the space. Space is everywhere available. Nay, everything is available in the space. And although the space is supporting everything, nothing is touching the space, nothing is influencing the space. The weight of the earth does not make the space bend. The weightness of the water does not humidify the space. The fire does not burn the space. The air does not dry the space. In the same manner, this conscious reality, technical word is Chidakash. This conscious space is the one which is supporting everything. Like in the space everything is. In the same manner, in this solid conscious space, the total world is contained. That conscious reality is ourself. Now see, where is the place for that kind of thing? After you die, the soul goes out and it is going here and there, and then what to do? See, it has no meaning. Once I was going after this 9/11 attack and the flight was almost empty. So I came out before boarding and I was having a cup of tea with my friends. He said, Swami, you are going. How is the flight? I said, it's almost empty. I am going to sleep and go. Nice, all the 4 seats I can get to sleep. But why the flight is empty? I said, because of 9/11 grace. Oh, that's true. But are you not afraid something may happen? I said, on the contrary, this is better. Because when you die alone. Thereafter, whom will you ask where to go? Well, 70 of us all died together. The same crowd will go. We will have a company. See? The space doesn't have to go anywhere. Everything is happening in this space. In the same manner, this conscious space that we are, there is no shape, there is no form, there is no achievement, there is no going, there is no progress, there is no regress, there is no sin, there is no merit, there is no hell, there is no heaven. Or everything is there, but they are in me. Like the space contains everything, but nothing ever touches. Similarly, the second example, yatha prakashayat pekaha krustam lokamimam ravihi kshetram kshetri tatha krustam prakashayati bharata. Or the second example is, like the one sun in the sky illuminates everything in this world. Whether it is the death procession or it is the marriage procession, both the tragic experiences are illumined equally well, is it not? Both are tragic experiences, is it not? It was not a slip of tongue. Is not? You thought I was mistaken or what? No. I am established in the wisdom. So like the sun illuminates everything in this world and does not get influenced by anything, in the same manner, be very attentive. All our experiences right from day one of our understanding are illumined by the same consciousness. When you focus attention on this consciousness, then find out whether you are 70-year-old image of yours, or you are a 60-year-old of image of yours, or you are 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 2, 1 month, 15 days in the womb of the mother, or are you absence? Find out what is that. So that conscious reality which illuminates all the experiences, and yet it has not changed. This ever illuminating factor, he who discovers, he alone has the vision, the eyes, the wisdom. So kshetra kshetrajnayorevam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye viduryanti te param. In this manner, jnana chakshusha, by the eye of wisdom. You know, Lord Shiva has the third eye. So they have two visions, two versions of Lord Shiva's eye. One eye is vertical and the other eye is horizontal. So I was all the time very serious about this thing. Two eyes are they are horizontal, one eye is vertical. How he must be seeing this way or that? I have got all the problems. Or when Lord Shiva must be sleeping with the light on, how he must be sleeping, Hey, ban ho jao. So what is this third eye? What is this eye of understanding? This vision of understanding is, be very attentive, looking at the ocean and the waves from the eyes of the water is the divine vision. Looking at the relativity from the standpoint of the absolute is the divine vision. The moment you come to this absolute standpoint, all the problems born in the relativity, they disappear. And thereafter, you celebrate life at every moment. So, Jnana Chakshusha Kshetra Kshetrajnayoho Evam Antaram. So those who are able to understand this thing very clearly, what is the matter, Kshetra, what is the Kshetrajna, whether he is the relative existence or the absolute existence, he alone, Bhuta Prakriti Moksham Cha. And what is the meaning of liberation from the relativity? Liberation from the relativity is only one. Recognize your absolute being. Those who know this, they alone attain the ultimate in their life. All others, for them, you being Hindu, don't worry, next life, if not this life. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।